So welcome back. This is Professor Shashikant Pathak from National Institute of Education, and today I'm going to talk about classification of polynomial functions, which is polynomials part 3. So let's understand that how polynomials are defined in many different ways. So the first method we are going to use is the by number of terms. So by number of terms. Number of terms means the first one in this category can be defined as monomial. So let's write down monomial, which is basically having one term, and can be taken an example as 5x or maybe 8 or minus 5y square, something like that. Then we can take another example here as the next is binomial. Binomial is having two terms. So let's write down minus 5x squared plus 2. This is a binomial. Then we come to trinomial. So trinomial is having three terms in the same way. So three terms, and we can write an example as, let's say, 6x minus 5x squared plus 2. And then finally we come to a term which is called polynomial. So let's make it again polynomial, and that is either 4 terms or more than 4 terms. So let's write down more than 4 terms. Now, after this classification, there is another method of classification, which is by their degrees. So let's say according to their degrees, let's change the color here quickly, and let's do it by according to their degrees. So write down according to degree. So how according to degree? Let's understand this part. So taking a typical example here, let's say 3x squared minus 5x cubed minus 2x minus 7. So this is a polynomial function, but when we write this function, we have to rewrite it as to the higher powers first, highest power first. So 5x cubed first, then 3x squared, then minus 2x minus 7. So this is basically, so if you do the analysis here, this is having the highest power 3, and this first term over the highest power is called leading coefficient. So we can write here that the degree of this polynomial degree is 3, and there's another thing which is called leading coefficient of this is minus 5. And then the last part, which we always say that these are the variables, but then we have a constant term which is minus 7. Now let's understand this this part with using some examples here, that polynomials are also defined as per their degrees, having odd and even polynomial functions. Like here you have a little box here where you define here the linear, quadratic, cubic, quartic, and quintic. So I'll talk about how these terms they're used. So let's take an example first as linear. So what is linear polynomial function? Linear, they have two categories. One is odd, and so linear is odd degree polynomial functions. Linear means they have their power is 1. So let's take one example, x minus 2, and then take an example, let's say x plus 2 here. So in both the cases you see that linear degree means the degree here, the degree is 1, here the degree is 1, but this one is a positive leading coefficient, this one is a leading coefficient is negative. That's how we define here. And then the second part is one is quadratic. Quadratic again is defined into two parts. As the first one, we can write it as 3x squared plus x minus 2, and here minus 3x squared plus x minus 1. And then this one is again here the positive leading coefficient, this one is negative leading coefficient, and this one is odd. You can see here, oh sorry, this is the one which is even. Linear was odd, and this one we can write it as even, right? Then the third one we can define as cubic. So cubic means cubic is again odd numbers, because it involves 3, so it has two parts again. So function can be written as fx is equal to x cubed plus 3x squared plus x minus 5. So this one is again, you can see here, this part here, and this one is basically odd degree polynomial function, which is has a positive leading coefficient. This one again is negative leading coefficient. And then we have quartic here. Quartic is again even degree polynomial function. So quartic has again two parts. For positive leading coefficient, the first term I am writing as x to the power 4. Second term I am writing here x to the power 4. And both are, you see, this one is a positive leading coefficient, this one is negative leading coefficient. And then finally we have quintic. Quintic is again odd degree polynomial function because the power is 5. So this one is, let's say, x to the power 5, and here you have x to the power 5. So this one is positive leading coefficient, this one is negative leading coefficient. So that's all for today, for so far as classification of polynomial functions is concerned. Do not forget to check out my next presentation, which will be on another topic. Thank you. Bye.